So I guess I understand what all the hype is about. Squid Game is a new show on Netflix that is kind of like the new thing for Netflix. It has basically taken over the streaming service. In fact, it has taken over it so much that I think that South Korea, which is the country of origin of the show, is suing Netflix because like their broadband is slowing down or something because of the immense amount of traffic that is being produced because of people watching this show. I think that the themes that I think the themes that the show presents are more prominent in South Korea than they are in the U.S. So that makes more sense. But Americans. If there's a show that's popular, we just have to watch it so we can all make memes out of it. But I think there's a little bit more to it than that when it comes to this show. So let me start off with some of the good and the bad because I was not exactly blown away by the show, but it definitely grabbed my attention. So first, the good. First of all, the set design. This is a beautiful looking show. Now, most of the sets, at least in the pilot episode, are built around an undercurrent of really creepy characters in a really creepy context. So even though you're watching it and you're kind of creeped out, you still can't help but notice just how incredible the sets are. I kind of wish that the sets were presented to the viewer in a more striking way, or I guess like a more cinematic way. Like the camera will just kind of cut to a set, like this breathtaking set, but there's no build up. Like it would have been cool maybe to have like a POV of the main character as they enter into this set, and for you as the audience member to be like, "Wow, look at this set, it's incredible," even though you're still feeling the same feelings of creepiness and danger that the main character is in. But that was probably the biggest thing that stood out to me as being a positive for this show. Another positive is the acting. Very good for the most part. There is a few child actors, and they're pretty much what you would expect from child actors. I'm not saying all child actors are inherently bad. It's just that what really can you? There's only so much that you can expect from an 8-year-old. So for being 8, they did a good job. It did detract a little bit, I suppose, from the realism of the story, but um, it's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Another positive was the music. The music was really interesting and an original concepts. I could definitely tell it was quite original. I wish that the music would have lasted a bit longer. There were some scenes where like one of the best pieces, and you might have seen this in the trailer, only lasted like 20-25 seconds. I'm like, man, I want like a full version of that. I'm sure it's available on Spotify or whatever, but it just would have been nice for it to last longer to kind of like keep that effect going. It definitely the pilot episode definitely lays a foundation of intrigue. Like I want to watch the next episode, and I want to keep on watching this show until I want to kind of see it play itself out. So that's really good. I might think of more positives later, but for now, the negatives. First of all, the exposition. The amount of exposition in this pilot episode is kind of obscene. I You can do exposition well. If you're Doc from Back to the Future, I could listen to you explain the plot all day. I could listen to you explain things all day if you're Doc from Back to the Future. But for the most part, exposition is not really a good idea in visual form. I mean, it's visual, tell us a story, show, don't tell, all those maxims of screenwriting 101. And I'm not saying that it was a bad screenplay. I'm just saying that there could have been a lot more scenes where you visually told us the story instead of the characters just telling you the background or telling you what exactly is going on between two characters. That was kind of the main thing when it came to exposition, is that these two characters would always be talking to each other and explaining the background or explaining their relationship, like word for word. Like no one. The thing about it is like it's kind of it's harmless in the grand scheme of things, but no one talks like that. Like, have you ever like gone up to one of your parents and been like, "Man, my brother is really getting on my nerves. I can't believe that when we were 6, he pushed me into the mud and he still hasn't apologized for it. Or don't we have a tense relationship?" Like, no one talks like that. Like, if you want to establish a tense relationship between siblings, then show them interacting in such a way that is tense, but don't let it be on the nose. Don't let the characters say like, "This is why we have a tense relationship because of something you did in the past." Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just lazy screenwriting. I'm not saying that the writers were intentionally being lazy. I'm just saying that it comes across that way. So exposition so far is the number one sin of this pilot episode. Also, the plot beats are very kind of formulaic. I mean, the concept of the show is not formulaic at all, and the way that it ends up is very creative and original. But the way that the plot kind of unfolds is very formulaic. A guy down on his luck, and then this happens, and then this happens. Like it's very kind of like I don't really know the exact phrase I'm looking for, but it's like very kind of like checkerboard storytelling, just like boom, 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 boom. And I kind of prefer shows and or movies that unfold in a much more natural, much more organic way. The Coen brothers are experts at this. Pretty much any one of their movies, The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, especially Inside Llewellyn Davis. Inside Llewellyn Davis is one of the most naturally unfolding movies I've ever seen. So if you want to get an idea of what I'm talking about, go check out that movie. So these might be minor complaints to the average person, but they're rather big complaints to me. Do I recommend the show? Absolutely. I recommend the show. It's pretty intense. You don't watch it with your grandma. Don't watch it with your kids. I've heard there are some children who are watching this show. Not a good idea. If you're a kid, don't watch this show. Okay, it's not for you. So I do recommend it though. It's captivating. Just make sure that that you have a solid stomach for disturbing content, and you should be good. So I'm looking forward to the second episode. Have you guys seen Squid Game? If you have, let me know about it in the comments below. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next cinematic adventure.